Beloved soul, if this message has found you today, do not ignore what you are about to hear. There is a reason your attention was pulled here at this exact moment. Out of thousands of videos, thousands of messages, and thousands of distractions, something guided you toward these words. And what is about to be revealed may explain why your heart has felt restless, why certain memories refuse to leave your mind, and why a chapter connected to your soulmate is moving toward a shocking and unexpected turning point. For a long time, you have felt as though something was hidden from you. You sensed movement behind the scenes. You felt that important conversations were happening without your knowledge. You noticed signs that seemed impossible to explain. Random names appeared. Strange dreams repeated themselves. Songs carried messages that felt directed toward you. And no matter how hard you tried to focus on other things, the feeling remained. The truth is that a powerful shift has been developing quietly. What nobody expected is how suddenly everything changed. Your soulmate situation was supposed to follow a predictable path. Everyone believed they knew how the story would end. The people around them assumed the outcome was already decided. They thought the future was written. They thought the door was closed. But something happened. Something no one saw coming. And that unexpected turn has created a ripple effect that is now moving directly toward you. Imagine a room filled with certainty. People speaking confidently. People believing they understand every detail. People convinced that nothing could surprise them anymore. Then suddenly, one statement changes everything. One truth comes into the light. One hidden fact becomes impossible to ignore. And the entire atmosphere shifts. That is the energy surrounding this situation. For months, maybe even years, there were obstacles standing between you and the connection that was meant to reach you. Delays appeared where progress should have existed. Confusion replaced clarity. Distance replaced closeness. But the strange thing is this. The very obstacle that seemed permanent has become unstable. The wall that looked impossible to move is beginning to crack. And what makes this so shocking is that it happened faster than anyone imagined. Your soulmate has been carrying emotions they rarely share with others. Many people assume they are strong all the time. Many people think they never look back. Many people believe they moved on completely. That is not the full story. Deep inside, they have been questioning everything. They have been replaying conversations. They have been wondering whether certain choices truly reflected what they wanted. They have been searching for peace. And lately, they have been unable to ignore a feeling that keeps growing stronger. A feeling connected to destiny. A feeling connected to unfinished chapters. A feeling connected to you. Now listen carefully. This does not mean that everything suddenly becomes perfect overnight. Life rarely works that way. But it does mean that the direction of the story is changing. When a river changes course, the destination changes too. And right now, the current is moving differently than it was before. There is someone watching this who has almost given up hope. You told yourself you were done waiting. You told yourself you were finished believing. You convinced yourself that nothing significant was coming. Yet here you are. Still listening. Still searching. still feeling that quiet pull in your heart. And that matters. Because intuition often notices change before the eyes can see it. Your spirit feels movement before your circumstances reveal it. That is why this message resonates so deeply. The unexpected turn is not only affecting your soulmate. It is affecting you too. Opportunities that seemed blocked are beginning to open. Answers that seemed hidden are moving closer. Conversations that felt impossible are becoming possible. The universe has a strange way of rearranging pieces when the timing is finally right. What looked like a setback becomes a setup. What looked like an ending becomes a beginning. What looked like loss becomes redirection. And right now, redirection is one of the strongest energies surrounding your path. There is another detail that cannot be ignored. Someone involved in this situation recently realized that appearances were deceiving. They discovered that the story they believed was incomplete. They discovered that important truths were never fully understood. And once that realization happened, everything started moving differently. Think about that. One realization. One moment of clarity. One unexpected revelation. That is all it takes to change an entire future. Many people spend years walking toward a destination that no longer belongs to them. Then suddenly they wake up. Suddenly they see clearly. Suddenly they understand. And once they understand, they cannot return to the old version of reality. Your soulmate is moving through that kind of awakening. They are beginning to recognize what truly matters. They are beginning to recognize who genuinely understands them. They are beginning to recognize which connections feel real and which ones were built on illusion. That process is uncomfortable. But it is also powerful. Because truth has a way of breaking chains. Truth has a way of exposing what no longer belongs. Truth has a way of creating freedom. And freedom creates movement. The energy surrounding this message feels urgent because timing matters. There are moments in life when years pass without significant change. Then there are moments when everything changes in a matter of weeks. This feels like one of those moments. The chapter that once moved slowly is accelerating. Pieces are falling into place. Hidden information is surfacing. Unexpected conversations are happening. And people who believed they controlled the outcome are realizing they do not control everything after all. There is a bigger force at work. A force that sees beyond appearances. A force that sees beyond temporary circumstances. A force that understands the entire story. If you have been feeling emotional lately, there is a reason. If memories have resurfaced unexpectedly, there is a reason. If certain names, numbers, dreams, or symbols keep appearing, there is a reason. Your awareness is increasing. You are sensing movement before the final results become visible. Do not underestimate that feeling. Many of the greatest turning points begin invisibly. Seeds grow underground before anyone sees a flower. The sun begins rising before the horizon turns gold. And destiny often starts moving long before evidence appears. Right now, something important is unfolding beneath the surface. You are not seeing the whole picture yet. But pieces of it are beginning to emerge. The next chapter will reveal things that once seemed impossible. People will say they never expected events to unfold this way. They will say they were shocked. They will say they could not believe how quickly everything changed. Yet when that moment arrives, a part of you will remember this message. A part of you will realize that you felt the shift before it became obvious. You sensed it. You knew something was changing. You knew the story was not finished. And most importantly, you knew that destiny still had more pages left to write. So do not allow fear to convince you that all doors are closed. Do not allow temporary circumstances to define your future. Do not allow delays to make you forget what is possible. The unexpected turn has already begun. The old script is being rewritten. The assumptions are collapsing. The truth is emerging. And the path ahead looks very different from the path behind. Your soulmate story is changing. Your story is changing. And the next chapter may arrive sooner than anyone expects. Stay aware. Stay open. Stay ready. Because the revelation that changed everything was only the beginning. Beloved soul, if you are still here, then the message was meant to continue. Because what you heard before was only the beginning of a much larger revelation. The unexpected turn was not the final surprise. It was the trigger. It was the moment that set everything else into motion. And what happened afterward is what nobody could have predicted. Your soulmate walked into that situation expecting one outcome. They prepared themselves emotionally for a future they believed was already decided. They thought they knew exactly how the next chapter would unfold. But destiny had other plans. There are moments in life when people discover that the path they have been walking no longer matches the future they are meant to live. At first, they resist it. They try to hold on to what feels familiar. They convince themselves that staying where they are is easier than stepping into the unknown. But eventually, truth becomes impossible to ignore. And that is exactly what has been happening. Your soulmate has been standing at a crossroads. One road represents the past. The other represents a future they cannot fully see yet. For a long time they hesitated. For a long time they stayed in the middle. For a long time they avoided making a final decision. But something changed. A conversation occurred. A realization surfaced. A hidden truth revealed itself. And suddenly, standing still was no longer an option. Now listen carefully because this part is important. The unexpected turn was not simply about legal papers, official decisions, or outside circumstances. The real turning point happened inside their heart. That is where everything changed. Many people assume life-changing moments happen because of external events. But often, the biggest transformation happens within. The moment a person finally accepts what they have been denying. The moment they stop pretending. The moment they become honest with themselves. Your soulmate has entered that phase. They are no longer able to ignore certain feelings. They are no longer able to silence certain thoughts. And most importantly, they are no longer able to convince themselves that their future belongs in the same place as their past. That realization has shaken them. It has kept them awake. It has caused them to question choices they once defended. And while others only see the surface, there is a much deeper story unfolding underneath. There is someone watching right now who has felt disconnected from love. You have watched other people move forward while your own story seemed frozen. You have wondered why certain connections never fully materialized. You have wondered why timing always seemed wrong. You have asked yourself whether destiny forgot your address. But what if the delays were never punishment? What if they were preparation? What if certain doors remained closed because other chapters needed to finish first? Think about that. A flower blooms only when the season is right. A sunrise appears only when the night has completed its purpose. And some connections arrive only after old chapters finally release their grip. That is the energy surrounding this message. Release. Completion. Transition. Movement. The old chapter is losing its power. And because of that, a new chapter is gaining strength. Your soulmate may appear calm on the outside. But inside, they are processing enormous changes. They are reviewing memories. They are revisiting moments they thought were finished. They are realizing how much they have grown. And they are beginning to understand what truly matters. Not status. Not appearances. Not expectations. Not what other people think. What matters is authenticity. What matters is connection. What matters is peace. And the closer they move toward those truths, the closer they move toward the future that actually belongs to them. Something else is happening as well. A pattern is breaking. For years, certain cycles repeated themselves. The same lessons. The same frustrations. The same disappointments. The same emotional walls. But lately, those cycles have started collapsing. The reason is simple. People cannot heal while repeating the exact same story forever. Eventually life demands growth. Eventually life demands honesty. Eventually life demands change. And change is arriving. Not slowly. Not eventually. Now. There is a powerful image surrounding this message. Imagine standing in front of a locked door for years. You knock. Nothing happens. You wait. Nothing changes. Eventually you assume the door will never open. Then one day, without warning, the lock clicks. Not because you forced it. Not because you broke it. But because the timing was finally right. That is what this season feels like. The lock is clicking. Movement is beginning. The impossible is becoming possible. And what once felt distant is moving closer. Many people around your soulmate still do not understand what is happening. They see fragments of the story. But they do not see the whole picture. They do not know what has been happening internally. They do not know the conversations taking place in private. They do not know the emotional awakening that has changed everything. That is why the future may surprise a lot of people. The people who think they know the ending may discover they were completely wrong. And when that happens, there will be shock. There will be disbelief. There will be questions. But truth does not require permission from doubters. Truth simply reveals itself. The energy around this message keeps returning to one word. Alignment. Not force. Not pressure. Alignment. When two paths belong together, life has a strange way of bringing them into alignment. Not always immediately. Not always easily. But eventually. And right now, alignment is becoming stronger. Your soulmate is being guided toward clarity. You are being guided toward clarity. The distance between confusion and understanding is shrinking. The distance between uncertainty and revelation is shrinking. The distance between the old chapter and the new chapter is shrinking. That matters more than you realize. Because the closer you get to clarity, the less power fear has over you. Fear survives in uncertainty. Fear grows in darkness. Fear thrives when people do not know what comes next. But clarity changes everything. And clarity is arriving. There may soon be a moment when information reaches you unexpectedly. A message. A conversation. A name. A coincidence that feels impossible to explain. When it happens, pay attention. Because sometimes destiny whispers before it speaks loudly. Sometimes it gives signs before it gives answers. And sometimes it sends confirmation before the full revelation arrives. The story is not finished. In fact, it is entering one of its most important chapters. The unexpected turn that shocked everyone was not the end. It was the beginning of a chain reaction. A chain reaction that continues to unfold. A chain reaction that continues to create movement. A chain reaction that continues to open doors that once seemed permanently closed. And the most surprising part? The future now looks dramatically different from what people expected only a short time ago. The path is changing. The energy is changing. The possibilities are changing. And somewhere ahead, a moment is waiting that will make many past delays suddenly make sense. When that moment arrives, you will understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. You will understand why some chapters lasted longer than expected. You will understand why patience became part of your journey. And you will understand that what looked like an ending was actually a bridge leading toward a new beginning. So keep moving forward. Keep trusting the process. Keep believing that unfinished stories can still find their conclusion. Because the unexpected turn that changed everything is still unfolding. And the next revelation may be even bigger than the first.